So we're here today for the officer-involved shooting involving one of our troopers. I'm going to go through the timeline and then I'll let you guys ask some questions, okay? So at 7:25 a.m., one of our troopers observed a vehicle. It was a dark-colored Toyota Scion XB, one of the box-looking vehicles, driving recklessly southbound on 95 at Las Vegas Boulevard. It was driving in and out of the shoulders. That trooper initiated a traffic stop. That vehicle failed to stop, and we initiated a pursuit on the vehicle. The vehicle continued southbound, where it struck a black Infiniti vehicle at US 95 in Charleston. It was a single occupant in that vehicle. He was not injured, but the suspect vehicle continued southbound, refusing to stop. Another trooper joined in the pursuit, where they were southbound on US 95. That vehicle exited Sunset Road, went across the intersection, and then went back on to US 95. It then exited Auto Show Drive, made a left onto Gibson, and pulled into Finley Cadillac, into the, I don't know if you want to call it the vehicle drop-off or maintenance area, where the suspect left his vehicle and attempted to carjack an elderly couple in their Cadillac who was dropping their vehicle off at Finley Cadillac. It's described that the gentleman, who was in his 90s, was violently thrown to the ground. That was captured on dash cam and through the surveillance system at Finley Cadillac. That victim was thrown to the ground violently. At that time, our trooper was on scene and attempted to take that subject into custody, where a struggle ensued. There was a witness who also tried to help out, get the suspect in custody. He was able to get away, where he tried to jump back into the vehicle that he tried to initially carjack, and that's when shots were fired, and that the suspect was struck in the torso. He was transported to Sunrise Hospital, and he's in unknown condition at this time. The subject is a 28-year-old white male, and that's all I'm going to give on him right now. But there's some backstory to this, and I'll give you that info, and then you guys can ask questions if you'd like. At 7:13 a.m. at the AM/PM at 2320 Fremont Street, the suspect carjacked a female who was at the AM/PM to get a car wash. When she walked out, the surveillance video shows the suspect stalking her to her vehicle. When she gets to the vehicle, he attempts to take the vehicle, where a struggle ensues. Again, a witness tries to help this female, but the subject is able to get in the car. He gets in the car, throws it in reverse with the door open, and injures the victim and the witness. And then he drives wrong way, and then that's when NHP picks him up on the freeway. So Metro did have the call. We did not at the time. We saw him reckless on the freeway, and that's when we started our pursuit. So if you guys have any questions, that was a lot of stuff to go through.
The 90-year-old.
Yes.
Can you go through that again?
Sure. So the suspect pulls into Finley Cadillac. At this point, his car is on rims. He's ran over curbs. He's struck other vehicles. So his car is pretty much done at that point. So he bails in the parking lot, runs into, like I called it, the vehicle drop-off or pickup for Finley. Runs up to this Cadillac that's got a 90-year-old couple in there, and like I said, violently pulls this man from his vehicle, throws him to the ground, tries to get in. That's when a witness jumps in to help, and our trooper is also there attempting to take him into custody. A struggle ensues. He's able to get away, where he jumps back into the Cadillac he was originally trying to carjack.
How was that 90-year-old man?
He was treated here at the scene, not transported.
And this started as a carjacking downtown.
Correct.
How long, distance-wise and time-wise, was the pursuit?
Metro received the call, and like I said, we did not have this call, but Metro received the call at around 7:13. We initiated our pursuit at 7:25, and that was from US 95 and Las Vegas Boulevard, so all the way down to here. So I would say it's about 10 to 12 miles.
To attempt two carjackings in one morning, I mean, what could motivate someone like this to do that?
I mean, at this point, we don't know. So, I mean, we don't know if drugs or alcohol played a role in this. We don't know his mental status. At this point, we don't know. Maybe he has warrants, or Sometimes people just run for not having a license. So there's a bunch of things in play. It's an ongoing investigation. All these things will come out. Metro's FIT team is here assisting in the investigation. So all these details will come out in a few days and shed some light on exactly what you asked, what would cost someone to do this.
You said the tires were blown out. Did HP use?
They weren't from spike strips. They were just from his erratic driving, striking other vehicles. He was running over curbs. He was in a desperate attempt to get away. So he was
driving fast.
Driving recklessly, yes.
Can you speak to all? I mean, have you seen that? Like, we have no care for these lives. We heard the first people. We heard that 90-year-old. Is that common? You see such a disrespect for other people and their well-being.
I wouldn't say it's calming, but it's shocking behavior. So, and when we see those type of things happening, you have to hold those people accountable and bring them justice. So, I don't want to say that's a common thing that we see, but our line of work, that's sometimes what we see.
And those first people who were carjacked, you said the woman and a witness.
Yes.
How are they? What are their conditions?
I believe she was transported to UMC trauma with injuries to her head and arm, and I don't know about the witness.
Did they know each other?
The
Person in Las Vegas.
I don't believe so. I think these were victims of crimes, and we have a good community here, and we had some witnesses who stepped up and tried to help these victims.
Do you know if these victims were locals or were they from out of town?
I believe they're all locals.
And you said in the middle of all this, two carjackings, there was a crash right on the highway. How was that the driver of that vehicle doing?
He was uninjured. It was just a property injury. Property damage crash. So, of course, he had his property damaged by someone from you, but he's going to be all right.
From what you said, it sounds like the suspect was trying to flee when he was shot. Is there some sort of threat that would justify the use of lethal force?
We are investigating that right now. At this point, we're still trying to determine all the facts on exactly what happened. Metro's FIT team will determine, what exactly was going on there, and they will brief on that. We'll have our 72-hour brief. And like I said, all the details on that will come out in the next couple of days. At this point, we're still determining whether or not there was a gun. We're still searching the scene and processing all the evidence.
And you said you guys are planning to release info to the public, kind of like the way Metro does?
Right. When Metro does their 72-hour brief, obviously we're not going to do the investigation because we'll let Metro do it, and because we don't want to investigate our own. So we'll let Metro do it, and they'll come out as unbiased, and they'll have the brief, kind of like the OIS we had
Right.
in August when they gave us all the information, and then we briefed them. So